discussed last night in the Torah class, I'm not comfortable discussing here.
I don't remember.
But I have a young lady
Yeah.
who, as much as I want to say things, I can't. Not with that face. Okay. Now, considering I can't say, and it's a pity because I'm blind. Anyway, the lesson in the Torah this week, and the reason that it seems as if it keeps repeating itself is because it does. And I don't think people get the message, meaning the patriarchs and matriarchs. Jacob, Yaakov, Israel is a victim of favoritism. Now, even though he makes out, he's still a victim. It causes tremendous divisiveness between he and his brother. And yet you would think that he learned from that. And all of a sudden, he is showing extreme favoritism toward Joseph. Now we understand that he loved Rachel, and that he had 4 children first with Leah, and of course the maidservants. But he had 2 children with Rachel, who we considered to be his real wife, first wife, even though she wasn't. But it's the one he longed for. And so to him, Joseph is the Bechor. And he made him a coat of many colors, or theoretically a tunic. But think about that. You have all these boys, and he makes this special gift for one son. You can't be more ignorant. Now, was it a loving gesture? Yes. And a complete stupid one at the same time. How was it not going to do what it did to Esau? Cause hatred and jealousy. So what happens is the brothers hate him. And he goes through a series of dreams where they're bowing down, and even though it actually are real dreams that turn into reality, or dreams that turn into reality, the better part of discretion sometimes is you don't say certain things. But for the purpose of saying things here that I'm allowed to say, the theme is that the brothers eventually do tshuva. They repent for what they did by throwing Joseph into the pit. True tshuva means you have to be in the same situation and respond differently. And they did. But Joseph was thrown into a pit. We're going to keep that in mind, a pit. Then he was taken out. Eventually he was thrown into a dungeon. And forget the situation with Potiphar's wife, with the seduction, all these things. The thing for us to know and to learn and to really take from this Sedra is Joseph was in the worst situation possible. He was in a disgusting hole in the ground with no food. We don't know what he ate. No water. We don't know what he drank. No means to clean himself or relieve himself. I mean, he certainly had to relieve himself. That's not an option. So it's like a horrible, horrible place. And yet, I'm going to say in a blink of an eye, although it wasn't, it was a few years, but if you're Joseph, it's a very, very long time. For us reading the book, it's 2 pages later that he goes from being in the dungeon to being the viceroy, second in command of Egypt, ultimately saving all the people there and his family. The point is, and I said it yesterday, everyone sometimes feels as if they're in the pit. Life sucks. You're depressed. Things couldn't be going worse. You lost your job. Maybe you're divorced. Someone you love dies. So many things that make you feel like, oh my God, I don't even want to wake up in the morning. And I'm sure that's how Joseph felt. But look what happened. He woke up in the morning. He was taken out, and he became a hoo-ha, a big shot. Saved all those people. No matter how bad life seems today, you have to have hope. And that's what the Sedra is about. No matter what you're going through, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Marty brought up yesterday that when he spoke to the cupbearer and asked them to remember him and all the other things, it was only when he prayed to God that his prayers were answered. Mind you, this whole thing had to come to fruition. From the beginning of Bereshit to now, everything is hashkacha pratit. It's all meant to be. This is a Sedra you need to read at home. The dreams of them bowing, and then them bowing. The goat, and then with Tamar and Judah, the goat. There's just so many interesting aspects. But the simple thing to take with you, which is the most important, don't give up. You're allowed to be yucky, but you got to keep it to a minimum, because you have the potential of rising to greatness, and that's everybody. And that's what this Sedra is about. All right. Please rise on page 52 for Baruch Hu.